welcome to another episode of the Cougarlicious Clubhouse. Welcome, and thank you all for subscribing and liking and sharing. It's so wonderful to have you back. We are here. We have a great episode for you today. We have the fabulous, funny, wonderful female DJ from Philly, Jerry Bender, and we have the wonderful, sensational singer, Sinatra guy, Andrew Lee. But before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, Linder Health Skincare. That's right, healthcare for your skin. And that's the skincare that I use. And I've been using it for years. And I just love it. And remember, if you go on to linderhealth.com/Donna and order product, you will get a free gift. That's right. So it's just like you're telling Linder Health that Donna sent you. And they'll send you a free gift along with your order. It's real easy. And remember, when you subscribe, it's free. And when you do that, you'll be sure never to miss an episode. So, without any further ado, I would like to first introduce our fabulous female DJ from Philly, Jerry Bender.
Thank you, Donna.
Jerry.
Thank you. It's an honor. It really is an honor to be here.
It's so much fun to have you.
It is.
Goodness gracious. I mean, you have an online radio show.
I have two.
You have two. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us all about it.
Tell you all about it?
Yeah.
I hope I don't bore you.
It'll be more interesting the second time.
Great. Well, I moved here about not quite 3 years ago from Philadelphia, and worked. I had a lot of jobs in Philadelphia, but my favorite job was working at a community radio station called WRDV, Radio Delaware Valley. And I've been there. I started there in 1993, and when we decided to move out here to Vegas, the owner of the station said, "Are you interested in continuing your show?"
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I broadcast back to Philadelphia every Sunday evening. The time here is 4 to 7.
What got you into DJing in the first place? That's back in 1993. It's not a big area for females to get into. I mean,
not really. I started as a mobile DJ.
Did you really?
For a big company in Philly in the I don't want to say what year.
Oh, you
well,
can say.
I'm a cougar, right?
You are very cougarlicious. Jerry,
right.
You are cougarlicious. Yes. And you can be cougarlicious at any age. Ladies, cougarlicious at any age. We know that, yes.
Well, how it happened was I was teaching school. I am an elementary and special ed teacher by college. Teaching, but I actually graduated. My parents couldn't believe it, but it actually happened. And I was looking for a job on the weekends. And this company called, can I use the name of the company?
Sure, absolutely.
I think they're still in business, the Pros. They were called the Pros. They were one of the first mobile DJ companies.
How fun.
They would train you, send you out with 2 turntables, colored light bulbs.
Colored light bulbs.
The ones that you would clip them to the table. It was awesome. 2 little turntables and a box of 45s.
45
RPM.
know what 45s?
You know, with the little hole.
They were records.
Yes,
at
records.
The time. You remember 45s, don't you, Andrew?
A-sides and B-sides.
A-sides and B-sides, yes. And they would get the job for you, and on Thursdays they would tell you, this is where you're working this week. They charged like $250 for a 4-hour party. They got the $200. The DJ would get the $50. And that's how I started. I started as a mobile DJ, and I loved it because I was a frustrated musician. You said we were talking earlier. You said I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be like the next Linda Ronstadt or Ann Wilson from Heart, but did not possess that talent. So I did the next best thing. I played other people's music.
You played other people's music, and so you started at parties. And but the point is that DJing really requires a really good voice. And you have a very, very nice voice for DJing. That's just, just not just playing music, but actually using the microphone, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a very good resonance to your voice, a good quality.
Are you saying I have a big mouth?
No, I'm saying you have
It's not too late to be a rock star.
I know.
Not too late,
it's not
Jerry.
too late. I don't
That's
know.
right,
If
because
Madonna and I are the same age, baby, we could do it.
There you go. There you go.
So-
So you went from being a party animal to
I met my
Go-
husband, and I was still DJing.
uh-huh.
But, when you're young and you're in love, I gave it up to be a wife and have a respectable job teaching school. And one day in the early 90s, some women that I knew, I was in a networking group in the area in Philly, and they were having a fundraiser and they needed a DJ.
Wow.
And they knew that I was into
You
music.
had the calling.
So somebody asked me, would I do it? And I said, I would love to do it, but I don't have the equipment because I gave my equipment back to the pros, the finest of equipment it was. And, but I had the music. And my husband knew that it was something I was really that I enjoyed. So he said, go get what you want. And
What
I
a
did.
nice guy.
Yeah,
Yes, that's wonderful.
He's been beating his head against the wall ever since. But you know what? I love it. It's a passion, and just doing the radio thing. I fell into that by accident, and I love that. I
Right.
love it. It's like sharing my toys with people. I have such a huge collection of vinyl and cassettes and CDs that I get to share my toys
and you
with
share
people.
and you share all different types of genres of music as well.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that, because I've listened to your show several times, and you do get into so many different avenues and aspects of music and time periods. Do you have a favorite time period of music? Or?
Probably, I'm a child. I'm a child of the '60s and '70s. A little too young to have gone to Woodstock, but still old enough to remember what was going on at that time. So I would say that the '60s and '70s are probably my favorite era of music. But I listen to everything, including stuff that comes out today. I mean, there's some, people like Elton John and Brandy Carlisle, who a lot of people never heard of Brandy Carlisle, but of course Elton John.
Who doesn't know Elton John?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, their new CD is really good. So I do try to stay on top of what's going on, and I really like every kind of music except classical and opera. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Do you see any of the old classical standards coming back, such as the Sinatra styles? Do you see any artist emulating
Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Harry Connick Jr., although you don't see him as much anymore, but they're still around. I mean, people like Barry here in Las Vegas, Barry Manilow.
Diana Krall.
Oh yes, married to Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
People still like that. Music. Music resonates with people, so you're going to gravitate to what you remember and what you like. And I love Sinatra. I mean, you're Sinatra. And my mom and dad were huge.
Yes.
They were. My dad was a real '50s guy. and they love that stuff.
Yes,
and it was what was playing in the house when I was a kid.
They define that generation for sure. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So how would you define your audience base, do you think? Who listens to
I have listeners as young as 2, 3, my granddaughter, but hey, got to give her a little bit of credit. All the way up to, I just DJ'd actually a celebration of life for somebody who passed that was in the entertainment business. And they lived out here now. A couple weeks ago was a celebration of life. He was 92. I've done 90-year-old birthday parties, and I used to DJ at the school all the time. I mean, I did middle school dances for years. So you have to stay current if you want to mobile DJ, and you have to stay on top of technology, or you're going to get left behind.
Wow. So it really kind of keeps you up and in the know, in the now, and relevant, and
I hope so.
it keeps you young.
It definitely keeps you young.
Keeps you young.
It
and
definitely
keeps you
young.
vibrant. And look how vibrant you look
Thank
today.
you.
So cougarlicious.
I'm a little.
You sparkle.
Absolutely.
No, we should go out on the town.
Yeah, I think so.
I like the candy.
Yes, the candy. Speaking of candy, Andrew Lee. welcome to our
It's the first time
show.
we've actually worked together in any capacity.
Yes, in any capacity.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
we've always seen each other at different shows. I was just at your show at Ichabod's on Saturday.
Nice to have you there.
Fabulous show. You got to come out and see his show.
Absolutely,
He's
yes.
just wonderful. We just Sinatra and Dean Martin and yes.
You're making them nervous.
Tell us a little bit about. I know your background. You've been traveling around. You've traveled all around the world. You've been at Ichabod's for a while, but you've also been around Vegas for a while. Tell us a little bit about your adventures and how did you get started in doing Sinatra and all of this?
Well, it's similar. My dad was the big influence when it came to jazz. I've told the story before about I was a strange little kid. From elementary school, instead of going out and playing baseball with the other kids, I would come home and close myself in our den at home and listen to my dad's collection of Count Basie and Sarah Vaughan. He had eclectic jazz taste.
Wow.
Cleo Lane, Morgana King, really just the best and finest jazz musicians. And Artie Shaw, Benny Goodman, all that stuff. So I developed a real taste for that. And my mother had a more mainstream but jazz. The term I like is mid-century pop. Stephen Eady, Henry Mancini, Andy Williams,
Sergio Mendez.
Yes,
that was big
that's
in our
right,
house.
that's right.
That was real big.
Herb Alpert.
Tijuana Brass.
That's right.
Yes.
So I grew up just listening to that music. In fact, people are often surprised when I sing. I have right now about a 200 song repertoire. And I know all the words to all of the songs, and people often ask me, because I'm never reading lyrics, I really am not a believer in that, how do you know all of these lyrics? And it's because I've been listening to this music for years. So that's
how it all sticks in your head.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just developed a taste for it, and all through school, elementary school, junior high, and then I started playing the drums when I was in high school. Played with college bands, and I think the sense of percussion and rhythm helps me swing when I sing. So, but my background, interesting, you were saying, talking earlier about marketing and advertising, that really is my background, my career, most of my life. My degree's in filmmaking, and I went into advertising from that, and did that for many years, and then started moonlighting as a singer in the California area about 12 years ago. And the company that I was handling the marketing for went out of business because of COVID. So I said, I'm going to sell my house and move to Vegas and just see what happens as a singer.
Kind of like a little trail.
Yeah, a little trail.
We kind of both followed.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
We just packed everything up, hopped the fence, and came to
like
Vegas.
the Beverly Hillbillies. We threw it all in the truck. And so I came out here 5 years ago and was fortunate to get quite a bit of work at the time. And then I was silly enough to think I wanted to retire. So I moved to Thailand for 2 years. And ever been to Southeast Asia?
I have not. No.
Ever been?
No.
If anyone out there has been to Southeast Asia, you'll know it's hot and humid all the time. And having grown up in California, I just couldn't deal with the heat and humidity. And I missed the nightlife in Las Vegas. So I came back about a year ago, working again and having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andrew, can I ask you a question? Why did you choose Thailand of all the...
I've been fortunate enough to live in a number of countries around the world. And I had lived in Thailand 20 years ago and told myself if I ever retire, I'm going to do it in Thailand. First of all, it's very affordable. You can live at the beach. I had a condo on the 43rd floor of a very modern condo with an ocean view for $600 a month. So that's one of the appeals of living there.
Now, did you sing in Thailand?
I went to retire, but when people found out I was an entertainer from Las Vegas, I started getting work. So
you must have been very popular because American entertainers, yes.
Yeah. About once a month I was doing shows at resorts, and I met someone from France who was also a singer, and he did a lot of light opera. So we put a show together called Bocelli Meets Bublé. And
Oh, how
we
fun.
marketed
Ooh,
that
that
way.
would-
It was
yeah.
very popular,
Yeah.
But I missed Vegas and cool desert nights during the fall and everything but the summer, and I'm back.
And here you are.
Here I
he's,
am.
He's back again. And you're at Ichabod's.
Ichabod's every Saturday, which is really turning out. I know we're not supposed to knock on the table, so I'll do it gently.
We'll knock
Oh,
on
we'll do
wood
it.
here.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it's going very well. The crowd is
Yes,
very
and
appreciative.
that's one of the things that I noticed too, and you probably even see this when you're doing your mobile DJing with music and people. I mean, it just resonates with the audience. I mean, one of the things that I noticed while you were singing, people were just getting up and just dancing. You could just see it on people's faces. It just transforms them into a specific time period and specific feelings and memories. It doesn't matter, they just get up and dance.
The best compliment I ever got was after I was taking a break from singing, and a girl in her late 20s came up to me and said, "You sound like Christmas." Because her
wow.
grandparents and her parents used to play the music of Sinatra and Andy, it's Christmas music. So yes, it brings everybody, young and old, back to a time that they, and at least almost always, sometime during the night, someone will come up to me crying.
Is that right?
That was my husband's favorite song.
Yeah, there's a lot of really very
People get
sweet
emotional,
memories.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my background in another lifetime was in ballroom dancing.
Oh.
And of course, there's so many Sinatras and Tony Bennett tunes and all of that we danced ballroom to. And my favorite dance of all times is foxtrot. I love foxtrot. And anytime, you play a Sinatra tune, especially those fingers.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. There you go. Yeah, witchcraft. There you go.
Hum a few bars.
Hum a few bars. Bada boom boom. My favorite, my absolute favorite, foxtrot. And
Sinatra said that was the sexiest song ever written.
It is. It is a beautiful
The way
song.
he sings it, maybe, I guess.
And when you dance with somebody who knows how to foxtrot, whew, it's magical. It's just magical, and it just brings me back to that point in time.
Yeah.
And I can just see that happening. And I think to myself, now where are the dance studios? How come the dance studios aren't out here dancing to all of this?
It's one of the things that makes Ichabod's popular is the big dance floor that they
Beautiful
have there.
dance floor. Yeah, I was really amazed, that I saw that it was such a large establishment, so I'm hoping to maybe do something there myself at some point.
I want to see a foxtrot.
Yeah, well, find somebody who can dance a foxtrot, and I'll dance a foxtrot.
We're putting the word out right now.
Okay, all you foxtrotters out there, all you male foxtrotters out there, I will be at Ichabod's, okay, and we'll see. All right, we'll have a foxtrot contest.
I'll sing Witchcraft.
Shall we do that?
It'll
We'll
be
do
perfect.
a foxtrot contest.
We'll do a dance contest.
You heard it here first. We'll promote it. Yeah, foxtrot contest. They'll sing Witchcraft, and we'll do it like that. Yes. Okay, let's go back to Jerry here. Yeah. Okay, so I thought you said that you had a couple of pretty interesting radio stories
I do
us.
have
Yeah.
a few interesting
Yeah.
radio stories. You were asking me about my station and what it was like and all. When I first started at our station, I mean, now, like I said earlier, we have our own building and we have our own studios. But when I started, we were in the basement of the police station. Which was great. I mean, I felt safe, especially because I was on at night.
Yeah.
And, nobody's going to bother me. I'm going to walk out to my car. Nobody's going to bother me. It's going to be all cool and good. And we had a lot of different personalities, obviously, because, it's a radio station. It was like WKRP. Everybody had their own little personality.
WKRP was
in
a
Cincinnati.
sitcom.
Yes.
Okay.
So the guy that used to follow me on Sunday nights was named Slim T.
Okay.
And now he did a reggae show. Okay, now when I say Slim T, what do you picture in reggae? What do you picture?
Oh, dreadlocks and ganja. And, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sandals.
Right. Slim T was this short, super skinny Irish guy with the dreadlocks.
Oh my God.
Irish.
Yeah, Irish. Irish, Slim T. And he would come into the studio maybe 15 minutes before his show, and he'd hang up his Jamaican flag behind the desk where you broadcast and like get into his whole routine of being Slim T. And he would speak with the whole reggae accent, man. Okay. And I would close off my show and get out of there, and Slim did his thing. Well, one Monday, because this was a Sunday, one Monday morning I get a phone call from the owner of the radio station. What the heck happened in here last night? And I said, I don't know. He said, well, the police called me. Slim didn't only hang up his Jamaican flag and do his whole thing. He was getting high in the studio of the police station.
And what year was this?
Oh, it had to be like sometime during the 90s. The smoke is
So
going
marijuana
up.
was not yet
No.
even
And it's
a
not
medicinal.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And it you know, it's the laws in Pennsylvania are
Yes,
very different
yeah.
than they are out here. And even back then,
Right,
it wasn't
yeah,
legal.
it was federal.
Okay, so Slim was like doing his thing, and the smoke is going up through the vent into the police station.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, that was the end of Slim. There's nothing to say. I mean, what are you going to
Slim,
say?
do you know where you are?
Yeah, Slim. Unfortunately, several years later, Slim, I think, had a sad sledding accident and went to the big ganja factory in the sky.
Oh, was that right?
That's what I heard,
Well,
yeah.
it's okay. Moment of
Hopefully
silence
he
for
felt no
Slim.
pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slim
Yeah.
T.
Slim T.
Yeah, it's-
it was Slim Pickens.
That was, I couldn't believe, I thought they were pulling a prank. I really was. But no, it was true. It was true.
Well, you know, I have a really quick story too. Going back to ballroom dancing, when I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut, and we used to have this class that we used to teach for outpatients. It was for, how do I put it? It was a mental health class for outpatients. Or it's
Therapy.
Psychotherapy. It was a therapy class. Yes, we'll put it that way. And it was like every Monday night. And we had a trainee that was coming down with us to watch this class and how we taught the class. And it really wasn't a big thing, you know, to do. We just said, just go to the class. Every week we would just teach the same step, the box step. Didn't matter what dance it was. It was foxtrot, waltz, tango. It was a box step, forward side, that's it. And we say, now, no matter what, you know, these patients are going to tell you stories. Just listen to them, just nod your head, and just go about your business. Now, the woman who was in charge of this program, she was actually Arthur Murray's daughter. Okay, her husband was a therapist, and so she basically handled this class. And we were telling this young trainee, you know, to just listen to these stories and to just go along. So we came back from the class that one day, and we go back into the manager's office, and we sat down and we said, so what did you think of the class? And he says, well, he goes, the class was very interesting. It was very good. It was very encouraging. He says, but you're right, about those stories that we heard. And we said, well, what do you mean? He goes, one of them was actually trying to tell me she was Arthur Murray's daughter. Yeah, she was. She was a very eccentric woman, and she always said, hi, hi, it's wonderful to see you. And it was like, yes, that was Arthur, she was Phyllis, and and it was every week I'd go in and say, well, tell your dad I said hi, and this was like back in 1972 or something like that. That's how long ago it was. But so you always have these funny stories and just these characters that come up, and they just just evolve into your life here.
You can't make it up. You can't make that stuff up. I'm sure you have stories about.
I'm sitting here racking my brain thinking, oh, please don't ask me if I have a story.
You have to limit it to
I
one.
can't think of a story offhand.
Well, anyway, before we close out the show, I do have a little something for you, Jerry, because you are so cougarlicious. And you know that cougarlicious stands for a woman who stands in her own power, celebrates the divine diva, and enjoys a little eye candy. And we all know, ladies, that there's nothing wrong with that, right? And cougarlicious can come in any age at all. So I am going to award you with my famous cougarlicious refrigerator magnet.
I don't have one of those.
do
Thank
not.
you.
That's right.
Ceremony
And
music.
Hey, don't you want one for your piano?
well, I can get one for Andrew.
Thank
Yes,
you.
for the eye candy. But you could put that on your refrigerator every day, so you can remind yourself just how wonderful you are. Yes.
I'm honored. I'm glad it doesn't say a woman who stands in her own depends.
No,
And
no.
looks in the mirror.
In her own power. That's right, because that's what Cougarlicious is all about. And ladies out there, I want you to I want you to remember that you could always go on to cougarlicious.com. That's my website. And Rick, if you could just go to the website and maybe go on to the store. There you go, cougarlicious.com, and go to the store. And you could see that there are items that you could actually order on the store. We have t-shirts, we have underwear, we have latte cups, we have got wine glasses, we have got totes, we've got coffee mugs, we've got ornaments, we even have, we even have hats. And when you go on, you'll get an automatic discount. All the prices include your shipping. And all the proceeds help to support this channel. So please just go on, you order something. You can be cougarlicious too, and you can spread the word. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You order a little Chotsky, you help support the channel, and I will love you forever for it. Mwah! So without any further ado, I think I'd love to thank Jerry Bender, our fabulous DJ from Philly, Andrew Lee.
We're done already?
We are. It's all over.
We're going to stick around after the cameras are off.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to say bye for now.